Global commemorations for the late legendary jazz musician and activist Bra Hugh Masekela. Masekela, who developed his musical talents in New York after being forced to flee South Africa in the 1960s, also left his mark on the U.S. Capitol, as our Washington correspondent Kevin McAleese reports.
The father of South African jazz entertained and inspired American audiences for decades. In 2014, he met with artists, writers and fellow activists who gathered in the US Capitol to meet their hero.
When I came to the States in 1960, I was 21 years already. And it took me a long time to be able to speak like this, where I'm not translating my thoughts.
In his 70s, but no less passionate about his music and his activism.
I think that it's incumbent upon every human being to stand against injustice.
A strong message delivered during that US stop, the need to protect and prolong African culture.
I'm afraid that my grandchildren, if I don't work on any kind of heritage restoration program and to hustle for it and to bring back its visibility like it was when we were children, and them have access to it. That my grandchildren, 20 years from now, when they ask them who they are, they're going to say, they say we used to be Africans long ago.
He would also collaborate with students in Washington, D.C. Professor Saeed Kamaluddin recalls the time he spent with Masekela.
He was one of the great giants of so many worlds, in the world of political activism and the work that he did to help bring down the apartheid regime globally. He was a great a musical giant in that long before there was any kind of movement called world music, Hugh Masekela was spreading the sound of South African music, jazz and otherwise, around the world.
Hey, thank you. The scope and emotion of his music attracted requests from American artists such as Stevie Wonder, Jimi Hendrix, Paul Simon. And still today, his music remains magnetic.
You would be robbing yourself of a huge piece of world cultural history, world cultural positivity and power if you're not familiar with the sound of the trumpet and voice of Hugh Masekela.
Kevin McAleese, SABC News, Washington.